Yeah, right, all. So this was at Colchester train station. When I got back, and I was just about to leave. As I was leaving, it caught me attention, this diversity inclusion billboard, and I was like, wow, you just you just cannot get away from it anywhere. You go mad if you didn't laugh at it. But what was very telling to me is they've got two sides. So they've got the Remembrance Sunday thing, and then they've got all this transgender LGBTQI interfaith multicultural nonsense. And I sadly have to say, in my opinion, the future belongs to the victors, and the history books are also wrote by the victors. Now, what I'm saying with that is the fact that we won the war, so the future belonged to us. So what I'm saying is, personally, the narrative we were told about that war isn't true at all. I think there's a lot of lies there because the victors always write the history as well. Now, within 3 years of us apparently winning that war, the Windrush generation arrived. Within 15 years, the swinging 60s began, with all the sort of beginning of the degenerate pop culture started to move in. Obviously, early days it was the Beatles and Elvis. Give it another 10 years, you had brilliant bands like Pink Floyd and Queen, and by that time homosexuality was being broken down with Freddie Mercury. And then later on, the 80s, the rave scene, the pills started coming in. By the 90s, that was normal, and then by the noughties, everything was complete. They'd managed to achieve breaking down the way people dressed, the way people behaved, and it was all achieved by music. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but I'm just trying to explain that we won that war, so the social engineers got to work very quickly after that war. So my opinion is, the truth is that the truth about Germany was the fact they were fighting against what we're living in today, if you look into it. I've mentioned it before, The Greatest Story Never Told by Dennis Wise. Fantastic documentary, about 6 hours long, broken down into 15-minute episodes, and it's amazing. And I've heard people mention about Europa, The Last Battle as well, which is also, I haven't watched it, I'm not going to, because I would imagine it's very similar to The Greatest Story Never Told or Communism by the Back Door, both by Dennis Wise. But yeah, and finally, I've got to mention obviously what's coming up this weekend: Armistice Day, Remembrance Sunday. To me, I don't know. I'm not Mystic Meg. You know, I don't predict these things. But I do wonder whether this is going to be the big one. It's quite strange. Normally we don't. Remembrance Sunday and Armistice Day have a bit of a gap because 11th normally falls probably on a Thursday or something, and then the Sunday happens to be the 14th. But this year you've got Armistice Day, then Remembrance Sunday, and you've got all this stuff going on about Palestine and Israel. Could all be staged. I'm not saying the things that are going on out there aren't real. I'm just saying that there could be other elements at work within Palestine that have created all this chaos, and the purpose being is that we have all this nightmarish chaos on the streets where people pick sides. You can have I'm not using that term, like the media does, but they call it the far right, but it's just ordinary people who've had enough. Maybe there are some people in there far right, so what? That's their opinion. You're going to have a lot of far left people down there as well. Antifa, they're not getting demonised by the media, though, are they? And this could be the big bust up that they've been waiting for. Loads of chaos. They'll probably target and we've seen it before with tactics that they use. Hone in on certain people. They often hone in on women because man's natural instinct is to defend the women, and then it heats the situation more, gives them more order out of chaos, which is probably going to be the end result. And then it's proper New World Order sort of thing, sort of stuff. So it's like, in the end goal, order out of chaos. So they've created all this chaos that they're going to get this weekend, and then it's going to give them an opportunity to go, right, that's it. We're shutting down protests, and who knows whether it'll happen or not. But I do think this is going to potentially be quite an interesting weekend. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. Whenever I start these videos, I don't have a plan. I just kind of go on a ramble, and could be talking out my arse. But if not, yeah. So that's that. Cheers.